Thank you so much, Dr. Sain, for that. I'll try to keep my presentation as short as I can. When I was growing, I remember my parents always telling me that no man can stand as an island, and that we need to choose our friends carefully. In fact, we need to choose our enemies carefully as well. And that's what I grew up learning. And that I've seen transfer or translate into my daily life and also organizational dealings today, where I've realized that a lot of research have shown that over 42% of organizations today are in one relationship or the other. We have friends, we have enemies. As a business person, as an organization, or as a government entity as well. We have people trying to steal from us, or people trying to extract something from us continuously. And we have people wanting to join forces with us to establish relationships. So a lot of studies have shown that over 42%, and this study was actually done in 2012. I'm sure that number would have increased significantly now. Where a lot of organizations today don't stand as an entity. We all form collaboration, we all collaborate, we form partnership, and we all do all sorts of things in order to stay successful or float in the business. But the one important thing is this often requires that we share resources. And that resources includes material, includes fund, and most importantly, information. And hence, information has become a key factor or a key driver to any business, any individual even individuals, we're all seeking for information. So concept of globalization has evolved. Concept of collaboration is now a big deal. We're talking about blockchain, people trying to share money, send cryptocurrency without seeing each other. These things we're seeing today, and this, I've seen someone slide this morning speak about supply chain, which is a big thing in the market today. Blockchain and supply chain is an emerging thing that a lot of organizations are beginning to look into. Research is also going into that direction to understand how blockchain can be used to manage supply chain within the health sector, within businesses. This is a big research that is going on at the moment. So a lot of things are happening where we're looking at trying to understand the need for information within our relationships as businesses, as individuals, even between partners. There's a need for information to be shared. I mean, we've had relationships broken up because people refuse to talk to each other. It still comes to information. So information has become a very key factor that we use today to drive our economy and to drive ourselves as well. But unfortunately, this same information is continuously being exposed to threats. The same information that we're saying is an important element to drive any sector, to drive any business, to drive any individual, or even a country, is continuously being exposed to. And this is what we've had between yesterday and today. This is what we face in our daily walks of life. This is what we face in our personal life as well. I mean, we all go to Facebook, we want to hide our information, we don't want people to know about it. We all go to WhatsApp, we set up status, people block people from saying their status. And one cool thing I find about WhatsApp is when you are invisible, meaning you can see other people's status but they don't know you are saying them. It kind of worked for me sometimes where I have a friend whose birthday was coming up but I didn't know. So I blocked my WhatsApp status. I can see people but they won't know I'm saying them. So it was her birthday and I called, oh, it's your birthday, happy birthday. She was like, oh, you know, yes I do. But I only saw it on the status, not like I remember it. So it's become a very key feature that we're using today to hide ourselves, protect ourselves from the dangers and the harms going on in today's global environment. So what's the rationale for this study? This is actually a very broad study. What I've done is a study I did with Professor Manoj. So what I've done with this study is just pick out a chunk of it, just a little bit of it, to present at this conference. So the exposure to information to different threats, and of course, is forcing organizations and trading partners or supply chains to seek for assurance, and that's the big thing. So moving away, taking security a step further, which is assurance, not just security. Because we've seen cases where people have security measures in place, but these measures are not adequately being utilized. And that is where assurance comes into play. So the rationale for this is to understand a lot of people are asking that question, how can assurance be provided on the information we have? Just moving away from security. Security has been defined by some authors as being a component of assurance. So we're saying, how can you provide assurance? So that question is being continuously asked by organizations. How do you want to ensure the integrity of information? How do you want to ensure the confidentiality of information? How How do you want to ensure the transparency of information? These are key questions that are being asked, and other organizations are finding ways to solve them. So like I said, I'll just present just a chunk of it, because I've been told I have 5 minutes by Professor Manat yesterday, so I've decided to keep it short. So the development and adoption of controls, of course, has been identified as being a key factor to ensuring assurance. And of course, the findings also says, and this is what we all know, that technical measures or technical controls are very important. Firewalls, antivirus, putting patches, updates, these are very important. One of the interesting findings of this, because this study was done with about 6 different organizations, it took about 5 years, I think. And one of the interesting and recurring thing that kept coming out is the fact that technical measures are not enough in the protection of information. No matter how much good your firewall is, no matter how good your firewall is, no matter how good your antiviruses are, if those antiviruses are not being implemented properly, if the people that are supposed to implement those things or use them are not using it the way they are supposed to use, it still becomes a problem. So the study was just to understand what are the technical measures, the non-technical measures that can actually be used to also enhance the security of information or provide some level of assurance for people about information. So these are some of the things that we found. Like I said, I've just decided to keep it short. But the one I'll touch on, and I'm sure these are things we're all familiar with. So it's nothing new, but there's a trick about it. So access control, and when we talk about access control, we talk about physical access control, not technical access control in this case, where you have biometrics in place, people that don't have authorization. I was at UJ yesterday. Before going into the gate, I see that they have thumbprint, you swipe your card and then you put in a thumbprint again. I'm from UKZN, where students can actually swipe another student into the LAN to use the LAN. So I can be at the gate, swipe 5 students in, they all go in, commit whatever crime they want to commit and they leave. It's on me. But at UJ you can't do that, because once you thumbprint, you're going in. You can't come out to thumbprint another student. So we're talking about physical access controls. These are very important requirements. And other things there, standards, policies, we all know one of the biggest threats to any organization is not the threat from outside, it's from within. The people, the employees. Those are the biggest threat. So policies need to be implemented. But the one I'm just going to talk about for today is audits. And that's one of the things that came out screaming from the respondents or the participants in this study. Where for those in the financial sector, we know the importance of audits, but those that deal with anything money, we always talk about auditing. But the one thing that a lot of those participants have identified is people, organizations don't audit their information systems. They don't audit the information. Even when they do it in a reactive manner, when it is supposed to be in a proactive manner. So we're saying, auditing of information. So we've bought this massive equipment and we've just implemented an SAP ERP system or a SaaS system. But that system has not been optimized. It has not been used to its functionality. People are just doing what they feel is convenient for them, which is not the right thing. So we're saying auditing came out very strong as one of the key things that organizations should start looking into in order to ensure that information assurance can be provided on information. In conclusion, we're saying that it is very important to increase the awareness within businesses. Even if you have to put out flyers, if we have to go on radio station to advertise within the business, that non-technical controls or measures are as equally important as the technical controls. So we don't spend money on buying these fancy antiviruses, on fancy systems. They are important, no doubt about that. But of course, we also need to spend money to train employees, to let them know that these security measures have been implemented to be used in a certain way. So that's very important. Another thing we would conclude with, which is compliance. This is a very big thing. Anybody in auditing would understand the importance of compliance. It's a very big thing. We need to comply. We need to comply to the use of the system. We need to comply to the use of the information within the business. Thank you.